All right, we are back here on the farm. Today we're gonna be working on really the first layer of depth of cover. We just left that little small circle. The first year we had the property was a food plot that actually grew very well. The soil's nice, but we're off of that, and then right through this peninsula of woods is another field way back there where the food plot trail pretty much comes around all of this. And so what we're doing today is, if you watched my initial clearing or working on the canopy video, I believe from a year ago, a year or two, this is an area that we started dropping stuff. It's also an area that we saw deer beds, of course, mostly doe on the edge of the field. Again, that first layer of depth of cover, mostly does, being close to the food source in the middle of the property, right? This is essentially a large part of our sanctuary, being really the whole middle of the property, including the food plots, as always. But it's not enough. It's not enough. We have some deer beds, and I want this to be better so that we hold more does, and that we can then go back a little farther and improve like a second and third layer for more and more depth of cover to get bucks bedding here. So we're gonna be touching on a lot of that, but for today, I think you can see that there's still a high stem count here. And really, even though we might not be able to get to everything today, we want to do, you know, probably a 1/4 acre in here and lay it all down. So I think you can see a big job is going to be cleanup. Once these trees and a lot of stuff comes down, we have kind of a main walkway right through here to the field. We have them coming this way. I know I just showed you some of the sign there and the droppings. We have them coming this way, back farther from the woods, this way, because we have a drainage that runs this way, and of course going directly through here where the other beds were, and to where the food is, and the food plot trail linearly goes this way. So of course, the more doe, the more beds we can get here. Since we are trying to grow the herd on this farm, the better opportunity we're gonna have for bucks to be in the back, since the doe will not be there. They'll be as close as possible to the middle and to the food. So we're gonna go ahead, really start working on clearing this up, and if we don't get to it today, we will come back and do a lot of cleanup on another day. We only have a few hours until dark, so let's see how it goes. All right, guys, so it's been an hour, maybe an hour and a half. Wanted to show you a little bit. Kind of been a mixture of stuff, felling, and really just a few hinges that are technically on the outside of kind of where we're gonna have this 1/4 acre right here. Still have a ton to go. Also, even though it might be a little bit preliminary, making some of the pathways that we're gonna have for the deer, we're gonna remove these logs. Finding more and more deer sign in this area, which is really nice. Really shows us that they're continuing to use it more and more. This is kind of part of the trail that they're currently taking out to. I think you can see that field pretty well over there. They've been, the deer have been consistently there pretty much every day for a little while now. So it's like once things started to, you know, snow started to melt and things started to show again on the ground, they pretty much came right back. But our definite goal for the time being in the next, you know, week or two, because I do think these trees are going to start budding, and we're going to want to wrap this up before we get to that point, and then we'll be working on other things, simazine late March on the second year switchgrass and all that good stuff. Here is another trail right here that you can see will lead back farther into the woods. and the deer can slide right through here. We might widen it a little bit, but they kind of have a nice easy way to go. So we'll continue to do that. But again, guys, the main point for this being that we're creating extra layer, or really the first layer of bedding next to the food. We're gonna keep adding more trees this year into the field. It's kind of a unique property because we have the food, you know, running linearly on the outside, and you can see that big oak back there, and it's kind of an island of trees, like where we did the first bedding area. And as we add pines and grass and other shrubs, and we have this early successional happening before the food, well, there will be then cover and bedding widthways and also lengthways like we're doing now. So we're really trying to add multiple depths of cover for the deer so we can have more bucks maintaining on this property. So we're gonna go ahead, finish up. Daniel's got the saw now. We're gonna drop some more trees and really get as much of this 1/4 acre down as we can. And really fun to see this sunlight come through. Perfect. Nice job. All right, guys. As you can see, the sun is going down. Not much time left, so we're gonna pack up. We're gonna get everything together and start heading back. It's a little mushy, so I want to be able to see where we're driving. You can see we did get quite a bit done today. We opened up quite a bit of canopy. These are still left to drop. We're gonna do more on the edges, more in here, and then we're gonna come back and kind of clean up these trails, one that way, this way, here, and make sure that they feel comfortable and the deer have enough reasons to send this GoPro back. This has been giving me a heck of a time lately. I know you guys have seen it numerous times, so I apologize for that. But I will do a separate video on the issues I'm having with GoPro. For now, I wanted to give a little bit more context to what we were doing back there, where we were at. So I'm gonna go over here to this map. As you guys can see, this creek drainage runs through the property, and right in this triangle is where we were working on the bedding. And so I want to make sure you guys are able to use the terrain features that you have on your property. It kind of made a really nice area for deer to feel secluded, and it's also a little bit higher and somewhat of a ridge, letting them be able to view more predators around and ultimately feel safer. So also, I know I've mentioned depth of cover probably 100 times, but when I was relaying about width and lengthwise, this property is fortunate enough when Jeff put it together that I have this large sanctuary basically that takes up the majority of the acreage for the whole property. And not every property is going to be like that, guys. Of course, it's going to be more custom to your area, and you need to utilize what you have around. But in this case, it worked out very well. And so as we add trees along the woods, of course, next to the early successional growth, and then the food plot, the linear plots going out to the larger plot on the edges, we do have, pretty much 2 ways to add additional bedding and depth of cover for the deer. Later on in the month, I hope to work more this way, back into the woods to where we have some stands, but time is absolutely flying. I don't know what we're gonna get to, but I'm gonna do as much as I can and hopefully bring more to you guys. So sorry this video was a little bit choppy, but if you get questions, leave them in the comments below, and I look forward to seeing you guys next time.